Hey folks, That Guy Flies RC out here at the Avon Park Field. Gonna take up the A-6 Intruder by FREEWING. This is my one that's been crashed and repaired and crashed and repaired and rinse and repeat. But she's just like an old friend. She just keeps flying and just keeps running. And yeah, that nose is dark because that's the dark paint I put on there to cover up all the boo-boos. Haven't flown this plane in a hot minute, and I do remember you do not use takeoff flaps because the plane already sits at a nose up attitude anyways. All right, beautiful day, gotta fly. See?
You're up.
I didn't even have to use, I got the ordnance on today too. Didn't even have to use any elevator, and I definitely didn't have any need for any flaps. I mean, she just lifts right off on her own. This is one
Time remaining 3 minutes.
sweet flying jet right here. Locked in. Running an AR-631 Spectrum receiver in her. Do some aerobatics there.
Gear down.
Now I don't have reverse thrust on this one, so I have to use my flaps to land. Make sure my gear is down there, and it is. Okay.
Landing flaps.
All right.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
There we go.
Flaps up.
All right, let's get it turned around here. I may need to work on my nose steering a little bit. She's kind of, well, she's okay. I do have a decent amount of wind today, and it is kind of cross runway. Got the FREEWING double-sided afterburner in there. But like I say, I'm gonna take off now. No flaps, I'm not even gonna use my elevator. I won't need to. The way this plane sits, watch. See?
You're up.
I didn't have to use my elevator at all. Flies just as well inverted. Man, it's a great flying jet. Full flying stab. I keep saying one of my favorite jets. I got so many favorite jets. Nice show pass there.
Gear down. 1 minute. Landing flaps.
All right. Let's do a dirty pass real quick and then we'll come in for a landing. All right, this is my dirty pass. My gear down, flaps are down.
Flaps
All right,
up.
putting the flaps back up. Okay. Halfway down the field,
Landing flaps.
putting in my landing flaps, making my final approach turn. Gonna get lined up at the center of the
30
runway.
seconds.
Staying on my throttle and my rudder. Oh man, I choked at the end, but that's okay.
Flaps up.
That's okay, we're okay. Could have just powered out of that, but might have gone off to one side. All right.
Prop secure.
All right, we'll pause there. We'll go back to the bench and we'll talk about it. Okay, we're back. Oh, hit my leg on the... All right, we still have 23 seconds left on a 3.5 minute timer. Let's check our battery. Unplug the FREEWING afterburner. That's the double-sided afterburner. Still got 23% left, so really 3 minutes is as far as you want to go. To show you where I've got the battery at for placement is basically almost a 3 or 4 finger widths in, there back. Okay, and that's where I put that's a 4006S. To show you my my flap settings that I flew in today is, all right, I do have a little bit of a mix. I don't use takeoff flaps at all. So there's no point, you do not need takeoff flaps, okay? But landing flaps are that right there. They're a positive 15% with a negative 8% actually up elevator.
Takeoff flaps up.
Yeah.
Landing
flaps. So 15% down positive, and then the mix is a negative 8% up elevator.
Flaps up.
Okay? The rates that I flew in, let me change screens. Rates that I just flew in were my high rates were 85% on the ailerons. You have small ailerons. On the elevator, also 85%. And I'll be willing to rudders the same. Nope, rudder is 100%, 30% expo all the way around. And I flew with the ordnance, and I really can't really tell much difference between the ordnance and the regular flight without it. But to give you a close up of this plane, my quote unquote repair job, I have glued. This wing was broke off. This gear broke out. This wing was damaged. Just had a lot. This whole section here was damaged, so I had to piece all this back together, repaint it with paint that doesn't match, but you know, it's an old beat up model, so, you know, I'll probably end up replacing it if they ever come back in stock. But this is a great flying plane. It's like flying an old friend, you know, it's like an old beater, and it's just an absolute blast to fly. It just kills me though, you don't even need the takeoff flap function. I mean, you don't even need your elevator. The plane just automatically lifts off on its own. As soon as she gets up to speed, she takes off whether you're ready or not. So that's called the easy button for takeoff. Just make sure you use as much runway as possible. On my very first one of these, I only gave half the runway and took off too soon. It wasn't ready. I didn't let it lift off on its own, and I turned in over here to this grass down here and destroyed that one. But luckily I kept all the parts, because when I've damaged this one several times, I've taken the parts out of the old one and got this one running together. But this one's been beat up so many times and has so many boo-boos that this will be my, like an everyday type flyer, and I'll save the new one whenever I finally get it. All right, well, y'all have a good, and God bless y'all. And, oh, did we go over? Oh yeah, 23%. CG on this plane is, you know, I don't even remember now. I don't remember the numbers, and I'm sorry. It'll be in the description of the video, but she's just a good flying plane. Put that 4,000 right where I told you, and you won't have any issues with CG. I had her inverted there for a little bit, and she was locked in fine, so I know the balance is good. So, alrighty, well, folks, y'all have a good, and God bless y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and then A-6 Intruders from FREEWING. God is good. Bye, y'all.